Hey everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas trading floor. Well, it's Friday. We got all the way to the end of the week. It's warming up here in Dallas, so that's a great thing. And kind of an open line Friday, just random questions. Anything you want to talk about? Let's take a first look. Let's look at the NASDAQ Composite today and see how it's doing. It's pulled up a little bit. Which is definitely a good thing. It's definitely a good thing that it is pulling up. So after 3 days of down, we're looking at it coming up again. So that is that's a hopeful sign. Now I did buy some Tesla. It did bounce off of the Tesla did bounce today off of the 50-day. And so, this sometimes can be a very good place to get into a stock. It's down a little bit from where I bought it, but definitely a good thing. Just kind of wanted to show you. Yeah, it's down a little bit today, 778, but it's holding right to the it's holding right to the 40-day moving average right there. So we got a bounce yesterday, and it's kind of settling here a little bit. I did my first buy, and then of course I moved out of the stock as it pulled below the 21-day line. I do think we're going to get a bounce here at the 40-day line, hopefully, and if we do that should be good. But we still have a strong relative strength, and we seem to be moving higher. So I just kind of wanted to tell you that. Also, for everybody out there, we did a action trade alerts on Cleveland Cliffs. It's basically basically a 10 contract bull put spread. Let's kind of check on over, see how that's doing right now. Oh, well, it would help if, okay, I turned all my stuff. There we go. We got it all back. So let's take a look at Cleveland Cliffs. That's a symbol CLF on Cleveland Cliffs, and it does look like it's moving higher, which is nice. So that hopefully that the bull call spread there will perform well. We're 6 days in front of earnings. My idea here is to hold it into earnings, and then possibly make a decision on the day on the 25th whether or not to hold it through earnings or not. But basically, as long as it moves above, hopefully it's going to move above 18, up to $18. We'll see if it holds. We're sort of at the top of the range there. And if it does, of course, we will close it early. But that for everybody out there didn't get that, you can definitely sign up for the free action trade alerts. Very, very easy to do. All you have to do is go to www. Dallas Trading Floor. Just need your first and last name and an email address, and we'll get you on. It's totally free, and it's a good way to go. Now, if you're looking on TikTok, you can also get that information by going to my profile. Going to my profile, hitting the link, and it'll give you a page where you can fill in all that information and also see some past episodes of Dallas Trading Floor. So now that we have gone through that, let's take a look at some of the other indexes before we get into it. The first one I'd like to take a look at, of course, is the S&P 500. This is a much more broad index, and it's holding nicely above it's right on the 10-day. It's right on the 10-day line. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. There we go. Hold on. I'll zoom in just a tad to see. There we go. All right. And it as you can see, it's holding. This is the S&P 500. It's holding right on the 10-day line. So that's good. It's firmed up a little bit. Had been pulling back. Hopefully next week we will see a continuation of this of basically this trend. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw some channel lines so you can kind of see where we're headed here. But it's staying well above the it's staying nicely above the 21-day line, and so it's in a fairly tight channel, but it is ascending channel, so that's quite good in this channel. So it's pulling down a little bit here. I do expect it to reverse and move higher, probably on Monday or Tuesday of next week. So that could be, good for the smaller stocks. Now, here's the thing about the S&P 500. About a third of the S&P 500 is made up of small banks, and as of late, they have been getting some love. So, stocks to watch are like Wells Fargo and stocks like that. Even though those are money center banks, those are showing that we're going to see hopefully some more strengthening in the financial sector. So that's kind of where that's going. So without further ado, let's get to some of the questions here. Thanks for holding on. Let's see. Thanks, Kyle. Thoughts on UI? Let's look at UI real quick to see. UI is okay. Well, let's get the right symbol there. Yeah, there we go. UI. Oh, okay. Ubiquity, and it's basically interesting for the spectrum service providers. So definitely a lot of Verizon and those kind of companies are going to be looking at them. So let's kind of take a look at the chart to see kind of what's going on here with the chart. We do have a fairly strong relative strength line at 87, and it is trending up, so that's good. But it seems to be basically right on the 10-day line, and of course that's this little pink line here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit to give you kind of a good taste of that. Let's go. All right, so here we go with this is ubiquity that we're looking at. There we go. All right, it had been in a downtrend. This might have broken the downtrend. So this is the so hopefully, if this holds, then we may have a reversal at the 10-day line. That's actually very, very bullish. Let's take a look at the checklist to kind of see where it's at in terms of its strength. 329, so it's down a little bit from September in terms of the fund ownership, but the checklist is stellar at 100%. So is there a good entry point here? Well, this isn't an ideal instrument. I definitely wouldn't sell this one, that's for sure. If you're very aggressive, you possibly could buy it off of the you possibly can buy it off of the off of the 10-day line, but that is quite an aggressive stance. That's quite an aggressive stance for this. So you might want to be a little bit more careful a little bit more careful on the entry. But let's take a look to see if we can just find where we can possibly look for the entry. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here. Yeah, so it's just right on the 21-day line. Now the last really base on this was a consolidation base, and that was back in back at the beginning of last year. I mean of the end of last year, and that was at the last. It was a first stage consolidation, a 195 pivot. Now we're considerably above that right now, so we're very extended on this at 349. So here's the thing: I probably would be very careful about buying this right now because we are very extended. So I would be careful. Careful with this one. Because we are kind of extended. So be careful entering any new positions on this. But if you do have a position, you probably could add. You probably could add. Let's go back to see if I can give you a. There we go. Come on. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so can we add? Is there a place that we can add a position? Well, I think this bounced off the 10-day line. We could add here, but I wouldn't go anything beyond that. I wouldn't add. I would only add. I wouldn't initiate a new position. So because we are extended, but it's still looking very good. It's not really a buy point here because we're very, very far extended. As you can see, this is essentially the last buy point, and then of course we had a consolidation here, and then it gapped up. This is very common, by the way. This is why buy points are so critical when they move above them, because it will start and it'll consolidate. You see how these little small moves here? That's the signature of a consolidation. We're not in a consolidation right now. It's sort of just moving up this 10-day line. So right now, I probably would be careful about initiating a new position. If I did add here, I would only add probably a quarter position. So that's kind of that's kind of how I see it in terms of the of that. So I appreciate I appreciate the question. Ubiquity is a good stock. It's got a 100% checklist. It's a little extended right now, so it's difficult to enter it at the right place, but you could definitely add at this point if you already have a position. But I wouldn't add more than about a quarter position on that one. So thank you. Let's see. Next question is from Mr. Singh. Palentir was a good buy yesterday. That's true. Gosh. And of course I was selling it. So you go figure, it's always like that. It's always the fish that got away. That's the thing. That's the thing. Kathy Woods bought a lot. Oh, wait a minute. I have a question. Oh, I'm going to have to ignore that one. There we go. Kathy Woods definitely did buy, it did start buying. So maybe that was the reason. Don't know, but let's look at Palantir. PLTR, of course, is the symbol. And there we go on Palantir. Let's kind of look at it to see. Yes, it's pulled up very, very strongly. It tested, and then boom, it just moves right back up to the 40-day line right there. So that's very interesting. Can you buy it at this point? Well, this might be a reversal, and I would wait for another strong day on this, possibly on Monday. This may indicate a reversal. Don't know, but we definitely had some very strong buying activity. This is a good volume here. We have ascending volume. That means that somebody's coming in here and buying strongly. So we may have a very strong reversal off of that. Let's take a look at the checklist. It's 77, so that's excellent. We have quite a few funds in it, 137 funds, and it's industry rank. Well, it's not the highest level in terms of funds. It's got 101 funds in it, but still, all things considered, it's very good. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here really quickly. As you can see, yeah, it pulled way below the 40-day line, but it seems to be getting some strength here. So where could you buy this thing? Well, let's take a look. The best place to probably buy this would be right about at the at the 21 day and at the 21 day line. That's about 30.63. So what you could do potentially with this one would be to to basically set a buy stop limit order at about 30.65. And that's sort of where I would probably go into it with a buy stop limit order at about 30.65 plus about 10 cents, and that's going to give us probably a good entry point on the reversal. So hopefully this thing will reverse. It looks like it's reversing, and this might be a good place. If you didn't, obviously the best time to buy Palantir was yesterday. That's usually the way it is. It's the best time to buy a house is 10 years ago, and the best time to buy it is tomorrow. So that may be the case with Palantir. It definitely looks like it's showing some strength, but it's very, very choppy. But this could be a good entry point for Palantir, basically by setting a buy stop limit order for 30.65 plus about 10 cents. So if it moves above of that, if it moves up a little bit more on Monday, then I think we're going to buy it on strength. So I appreciate that that question from Mr. Singh very much. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, next question. Hey, Wendy, hopefully you're doing well up in Calgary. Let's see. Let's look at TIGR. Tigger. I wonder if this is a Winnie the Pooh stock. I don't know. TIGR. That's not very funny. Well, look at that. Okay. It's a Chinese company, online brokerage. It is just kind of, this is sort of looking like, wow, there's really no place to buy this thing. Let's just kind of look at the smell test. All right, 8 out of 9. That's good. 18 funds, a little bit thin, but goodness gracious. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit on this to see, just kind of look at it a little bit more carefully here to see if we can find someplace to look at it. So here we go. It just moved so quickly up, so quickly. But it looks like it topped here, and then it came back down here. It's trading a little below that. So what are you going to do now? If you're in the stock, this is a climax top. This is called a climax top. Here's what you do if you're in the stock. If you're in the stock now and you've made some good money in it, take your stop losses and start pushing them up, pushing them up. So each day capture a little bit more of that profit, because eventually what's going to happen is it's going to pull back and you're going to get sold out. Now, it looks as if people are trading right on, the algos are trading on this because it's reversed twice. Once when both times on the 10-day line. So right now it's fairly far above the 10-day line. So the question is it a good place to buy it right now? Well, this is extended, so I would be very, very careful about entering a new position on this one right now, because this is extended. So be careful in this. But if you're already in it, you want to keep pushing that stop loss up. So that's good. It seems like it's just riding the 10-day line, but basically, that's a tremendous stock, and of course it's doing very, very well. But be careful, protect your profit on this one, Wendy, because we may be in a situation where it pulls back, kind of like GameStop and a lot of the other ones. So that's sort of been the way it's been working on that. So let's take a look at RVP. This is, of course, a stock that I was sold out of because my stop loss was was breached. But let's look at it. RVP. Let's see if there's an alternative entry point into here. Okay, yeah, it's pulled back down to the 21-day line here. Yeah, right here. Okay, right to the 21-day line. So the relative strength is moving lower. So that's an issue here with RVP. Now, it's gaining fund ownership. It does have a strong checklist, and it's in a fairly good sector. It's 39 out of 197, so it definitely meets that test, which is quite good. The thing here with this is, let's see if it reverses off of this 21-day line. Let's see if we can. Let me just look at the 60-minute chart to see kind of how it's trading. There we go. Okay, so it seems to be trading. It seems to be trading in this range from about 16 on up to about 20. Here's what I would do. I think that in order for this thing really to show a reversal, we have to see it move above this $20 mark. That's going to be the key level here. So if this is going to reverse higher, it's going to bounce off the 21-day line, and then it's going to move above this 21-day line. So here's how I would play this one. This is not necessarily the greatest place to get in because it's not a base, and I'll be just very frank with you. But here's how I would do it. If I was going to buy this one, I would set a buy stop limit order for about $20 plus about 10 cents. and that'll kind of give you sort of a way to look at this. So let's kind of take a look here. What we need to see is a reversal and then a continuation of this uptrend. There is an uptrend that has sort of formed here. And that uptrend basically kind of goes like this. I do think that we may, and we can also see the bottom part of the channel here as well. So let's draw that as well. So what I do think is going to happen is it's going to bounce off this 21-day line, but we can't be sure. We have to kind of be sure that it's reverse direction. Where I would set my buy stop limit order would be right here at 20. So as it bounces, and I do believe it will, and it comes higher, then we could capture possibly some of this alpha here, as it goes up. It's still a very, very good stock. It's really, right now, you don't want to buy it on a downtrend because it's moving down. But I do think that this is likely to reverse. Never buy a stock as it's moving down. Wait for it to reverse, and if it reverses, then buy it. But buy it as it's moving higher. And where I think the best place to buy it is right about this 20 line. And the reason is because, as you can see, that's the former high, at least in the intermediate term. That's the former high. So that's kind of where you want to buy it. And how do you do that? Well, you set the buy stop limit order for $20 plus about 10 cents to make sure that there is some conviction on that. So that's how I would deal with RVP. If you're down more than 7% in the stock, sell it and wait for it to reverse and then buy it above 20. That's probably your best bet on this to get some nice alpha there. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the people that have come in on TikTok. Thanks for holding here, and let's see if we can. Okay. By the way, everybody on TikTok, I am CRISPR. Okay, CRISPR Therapeutics. That's a good suggestion. We're going to take a look at CSPR. Of course, this is a gene editing company. CSPR. It's a Swiss company, and it has. That's Casper Sleep. No, CRSP. I think that's. Yeah, they're CRISPR Therapeutics. Great. Okay, so let's put that one up on the screen here. This is CRISPR. A very interesting company. It is in a short-term decline, short-term downtrend. It looks like it might have turned here. Right now, we don't want to be buying it, obviously, because it made its top here at 220, and now it's pulled back, and it's pulled below the this very, very key level here. That's the 40-day line. Now, we don't want to, we want to see it. We want to see it firm up. Now, this thing may pull even lower. Now, it looks like we have a short-term correction in here. So let's look at the 60-minute chart to see. Yeah, well, we're still kind of at this 150 level. Right now is not a good time to buy it. So what I would do, this is a classic watch list stock here, because it, we just have to wait for this one. This is a watch list. Do not buy it now. So that's kind of what we have to do here. This is a watch list. Do not buy this one now. It's just not time for CRISPR. So here's the thing: if you're in the position and you're down more than 7%, please cut your losses. This thing could possibly go as low as about 110. So it's still a good stock. I'm not ragging on the stock, but it is in a correction phase. It's come down significantly, as you can see, and we may, and this is very, very key here, we're starting to see, and this is a very short-term thing, so this is really not enough days, we may be seeing a correction in this, and here's why. It's because there's a left shoulder, and then there's a head here, okay, and there is the struggle with the 40-day moving average. This could potentially become the third left shoulder, and if it does, then that means that it's going to be shorted. So be very, very careful with this stock right now. It's a good time possibly to watch list this, but not to buy it it you know, at least for right now, the trend is down. You know, the trend is down on this one. So be careful on this one. On CRISPR, we kind of put this up here. CRSP is in a downtrend. So not viable right now. And you find this with many of the highest flying stocks out there, is that when they're in a downtrend, you know, that can be, you know, they can go on for quite a while. This may be shorted a lot. Let me just take a quick look to see what the short interest is on it. Yes, the short interest is quite high at 30%. This is probably going to be falling further. But right now, if you're looking to short a stock, I wouldn't short this one, because we are still in a upward trending market. It's not a good time to short in an upward trending market. But CRISPR might be very close to a situation where it is a shortable stock. So not probably the news you wanted to hear on that. Be careful with CRISPR. All right, let's take a look, Fester. Thank you for watching today. Let's look at Digital Turbine apps, APPS. And I did very well on this one in the last few months. I haven't been in it for a while. It looks as if it kind of looks like it has a little bit of a topping action here. It seems like it has a little bit of a topping action. Let me turn on my light here. So there we go. Okay, so you can see me better. It looks like it's a little bit of a topping action on Digital Turbine. So let's go to the weekly chart, and let's go to the daily chart and take a look kind of what's happening here with Digital Turbine. So let's zoom in a little bit. Oops. If we can zoom in there, we'll take a second. There we go. Things are working a whole lot better today that I'm not using my home computer. I'm using a computer with some power. So here's, you know, we were moving up very, very nicely with Digital Turbine, and you see it kind of went a little bit above the trend line, as you can see. So now it seems to be reverting back to the trend line. Well, see if we can move that up. My trend line sort of went off the rails there. That's the trend line that we need to be looking at. As you can see, it got a little bit out of the channel here, and what happened is it was bouncing up and down, and then it got a little bit out of the channel. It moved up, and now it's correcting, but it's correcting right up to the 10-day line. So the question is, what can we do with Digital Turbine? Is there a good entry point for it? And if we have it, what should we do with it? So let's kind of look, you know, just at some of the checklists. Let's first look at the O'Neill checklist here to see kind of where we're at. Well, at 88%, so that's looking very, very good. The fund ownership is increasing, good as well. Industry and sector, and it's doing not quite as well as it was. 101 out of 192, but we're still in the top 60%. So that is indeed good. What should we do with this right now? Well, if it looks like it possibly is reverting back to its normal pattern, it got a little bit ahead of itself, and it looks like it's coming back a little bit. Here's what I would do with this one. This is probably not a good place to buy it right now. Let me go to the weekly chart and see if there's anything that we can find in the way of a potential buy point on that. Let's see if we can find anywhere we could possibly buy this. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there really is no buy point on this one. It's just gone straight. It's gone straight up. It looks like it's correcting. Here's the thing: look for it to reverse a little bit above about 65. So it's got a ways to go. This is kind of extended, so we want to be careful on this one. You know, we want to be careful. Extended, not ready to buy yet. So I think it's important that you realize that this is very extended, and there's no real good buy point on it. So the only thing you can really do for right now, unfortunately, is to watch this one. You know, you basically just have to watch this one. Wait for this to pull back. I do think we're going to see a pullback. Looking at the weekly chart, I think we're going to see a pullback, possibly to the 40-day line. That's the ideal place to buy it, is at that 40-day line. So let's go to the daily chart and see if we can find something like that. You see, it's going to have to pull back a lot. It's going to have to pull all the way back down, and we don't know. It might have changed direction, but it might not have. Really, I think we got to wait on this one. You know, we could either, you know, the ideal place would have been yesterday, of course, to buy it off the 21-day line. It looks like it's reversed off of that, but let's see if that's the case. I just think it's a little bit too far extended right now. It's a little bit too far. It's a little bit extended. So we might have seen a reversal. Don't know, but one day doesn't make it. So I would watch this one. Wait for it to go higher. You know, where you want to buy it is probably right at about this level when it makes its high, and that probably, you know, let's see how it goes. It needs to be, it can't be more than about 10% above this 10-day line. So right now, I think you got to watch this, and I don't think it's a buy at the moment. I think you're going to have to wait until we have a better entry point on that. Okay, what are your thoughts on? Thanks. What are your thoughts on BLDP? Okay, let's look at BLDP. BLDP. Okay. BLDP. Ballard Power. Okay, Ballard Power is an interesting company. They've been around for a very, very long time. They've made electric buses for years and years and years. So they have a lot of bona fides in the electrical vehicle space. Good company. Looks as if it has bounced, and this might be a good opportunity. Looks like it has bounced. Let's analyze this carefully. Looks like it's bounced off the 40-day line. That can be a very, very good place to buy. What I'm doing now is I'm drawing a line kind of to see, and to see about the reversal. Here's the thing. This looks like a reversal. It looks like a reversal. Let's just take a few things. It's got a 92 relative strength, so that is good. Where you want to buy this one on the reversal is at the at this line, at the you know, at the 20 at the 21-day line. That's this green line here. That's where you want to buy it. So the question is, where is that green line, and how can we see it? So let's check to see what the price of that is. That's 34.22. So here's what I would do on this one, and this is possibly a very good opportunity. Very good opportunity on this one. You could set a buy stop limit order for, let's see. Basically, I'm just trying to get it, you know, make sure that I have it right here on the 21-day line at 34.35. 35 plus 10 cents. That's where I would set the buy stop limit order for would be right at the 21-day line, because I do believe it's reversing higher. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart to see if that's the case. Yes, it is. Well, but it's kind of conked out here a little bit. So basically what we have to do is we really need to get up to about the 30, about here, about right about here. We want to buy it as it's moving above this level. Why? Because as you can see, that's the beginning of the support level. So we're just kind of drawing the line across there. That's the beginning of the support level. So as it moves above this line, when it moves above here in this area, that's where we want to buy it. Now it seems to have been selling off a little bit, but what I would do with this, and I think this is a good stock, by the way, is try to buy it as it moves above the 21-day line. So thank you very, very much for that question. Very interesting. Again, what I would do is set a buy stop limit order for about 34.35, and then plus about 10 cents to get that in there. So very interesting question. Thank you for that. So let's next question here. Is fuel cell? Well, fuel cell's kind of fallen off, kind of fallen off the edge of the world here. We have some issues with it. We have some issues with fuel cell. Get my camera. There we go. We do have some issues with fuel cell right now. So let's take a look at the chart for fuel cell. This is a classic. This is a classic climax top. So I want to show you this. I was in this. I got out of it. I got scared out of this. But this is sort of a this is a kind of a climax top. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah. Okay, that's even more pronounced. But we sort of had this climax top. We had it move up, 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 up. And then right about here, we broke the trend right about here, right as we got up to 30, and it's been down ever since. Now, the question is, has it reversed? Well, we might have seen a reversal. We don't know, but let's look at the 60-minute chart to see if we can see one, if there was one. Well, I don't think there really has been a reversal. So this is going to be you're going to have to be very careful with this one. It may hold at this level at about, there may be a floor about 18, but it looks as if this is the line that we really have to be concerned with right now, and that is right about 2063. So the question is, will it move above 2063? Here's the thing: if this thing does reverse, you want to buy it basically at the 21-day line, which is about 2175. So if this reverses, if this thing reverses, you want to buy it at the 21-day line, which equals, I'll give you an exact number for that on the 21-day line here. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. 2165. That's so. So that's where I would be possibly looking to get back in if I wasn't already in. If I wasn't already in fuel cell, but this is a very tough one because it may or may not reverse at this level. So we got to be careful. Only if it reverses do you want to get back in. Where I would get back in would be at 2165. But for right now, I think what you got to do on this one, because it's pulling back, I think you're going to have to to watch list it. I think you're going to have to watch list this one, because we want to make sure that it's in an upward motion before we get back into it. So I think you have to be a little bit careful with this one right now. Hopefully it will reverse, but right now it's not a buy, it's a watch list. Even though it is moving up, I want to see it move above that 21-day line, and that 21-day line basically is about at 2165. So we want to see it move just a little bit above that 2165, possibly 2165 plus 10 cents, and that would give us a potential reversal. But right now, even though it is starting to move higher, it has not reversed yet. These are tough. These are tough places to buy because buying on reversals is really an art form, and sometimes you get them right and sometimes you don't. But this probably has a lot longer way to go. It's got a huge relative strength, excellent checklist, and it's starting to have some very nice fund ownership. So all in all, a good stock. Just I wouldn't buy it now because it's still, even though it's moved up, it still hasn't totally reversed. So wait for the reversal and then buy it as it's moving higher. Let's see. And the other question was for SPWR. Let's look at SPWR. SPWR. And that's SunPower. Well, would I buy SunPower right now? Well, let's look at the chart. Let's consult the chart. We always need to do that. So let's see if I can get, let's take a look. It looks as if it's a little bit, it's been falling, as you can see. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. There we go. It's been falling, as you can see. So the question is, will it get support at the 40-day line? It might. We might see it get support at the 40-day line. It looks as if it has bounced off of that because we pulled back on Thursday and we've moved up so far today. But let's look to see what the conviction is. Well, the conviction isn't that great, so I'd be careful here because if we saw volume lines like this, then I would say yes, it's made its move, but this one could fall further. So I definitely think you have to watch this one. It's not a buy. I mean, I wouldn't buy this one right at this moment. So I just think you've got to watch this. I think you have to watch this one. I don't know if this is fully pulled all the way back. Now, let's see if it gets support at the 40-day line. And currently, that 40-day line is right at this level. So let me just put the thing on in there so we can see it. Yeah, okay. So right now, the 40-day line is at there we go. The 40-day is about 37. So yeah, the most important thing here is to see if this will get support. And if it does, then I think we're good to go. But right now, it's just not buyable. I wouldn't buy it, even though now, of course, we're after hours. But let's wait until Monday on this one and see. Is it a good buy? Well, it's a good buy, but only if it's moving higher. And right now, it's not. So that's why you got to be very, very careful. All right, Siad. Oh, hey, thank you. I'm back on video, and the reason I'm back on video is because for the last 3 days, and thank you very much for that comment. I was broadcasting out of my house, and I have limited bandwidth there, so I could only broadcast the voice in the charts, not my ugly mug. So thank you for that comment. Really appreciate it very, very much. Let's look at please check Exxon. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting play as well. And of course, I think the stock that you are indicating here is ExxonMobil, and the symbol for that, of course, is XOM. And let's pull that one up right now to see about ExxonMobil, XOM. And wow, this is a good chart considering everything. Now, a few things about this chart. Let's kind of look at it. And you know what? You may have come across something really good. Well, let's see if we get my ugly mug off there. It looks very, very good. Let's kind of look a little bit of more of the chart. So I'm going to kind of get rid of some of these data boxes here to see kind of what's happening. Well, the midterm high, we're very close to that. Oh, this is actually very nice action. Thank you for bringing this up. This is really this is really a good idea, because here's the thing. Let me show you a chart pattern that is particularly bullish, and I think we may actually have a break on it. Do you notice how this is now? This is only for 4 days, so this doesn't make it. But do you see how this is kind of tight in here? Now, it needs to be, we really need to have this happen for about 3 weeks. We really need what we call a 3-week tight. But let's go to the weekly chart and see if we have anything like developing. Well, we don't really have anything developing. But right now, interestingly enough, we're right in a buy point on this one. This is incredible. Thank you for bringing. This wasn't on my radar, and I was going to look at some of the oil and gas stocks, but this is looking very, very, very good. The relative strength is a little bit low, less than I'd like to see it. But the interesting thing is on the weekly chart, we are starting to see a cup with handle first stage. So wow, this is in a buy zone right now. Interestingly enough. So basically, right now, this, XOM is in a buy zone right now. And so that is kind of great, actually. So can we find a buying place for it? Absolutely. When the stock comes into a buy zone, then we've got to look at it carefully, and it looks as if, yeah, okay. So it looks at the pivot is 5108. It's at 52. So this is looking very good. You could buy this thing right now, and that is that is a very good thing. So this is buyable. So believe it or not, this is buyable right now at this level, at the at the 72 at this level. So it's buyable right now. So we're going to put a check mark there. If I can make it work. There we go. So it is buyable right now, right at this location. So great question on this. Now, normally I wouldn't buy a stock that has a checklist like this because it only gets 55%. But because this has been so beaten down, this is like one, and because, we're going to have a reopening of the economy, I think that, this is probably a very good time to buy. It's a very low rank in terms of the, it's 131 out of 197 sectors, but this is got a very, very nice chart pattern. It's ascending very nicely. There we go. Let's go to the weekly chart to kind of get the idea. Yeah, you can see this beautiful cup pattern. It's a nice ascending. It's ascending. It's just a base pattern, so it's properly based. And I mean, this thing could easily go as high as 80. This could easily go as high as 80. So this is probably a pretty good time to be buying ExxonMobil. So thank you very, very much. I'm going to actually put that down on my little list of potentials to watch, XOM. And I know I'm gushing over ExxonMobil. It's hard to believe that I'm doing that because ExxonMobil is it's the antithesis of a growth stock. It's about as polar opposite of a growth stock as you can get, but the patterns are looking very, very good on it. So thank you very, very much for bringing that up. All right, let's look at ROKU. ROKU, I had ROKU. I got shaken out of ROKU, unfortunately. Love ROKU. I probably look at ROKU every night. I have a ROKU player, like almost everyone does, I think now. And it's it's a cool little stock. Unfortunately, there just isn't really there just isn't really a place to buy it. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit on it to see if we can get in there a little bit and kind of look at the chart pattern on it. Okay, there we go. It's really it's about 466, and it's just the last real buy point on it was down here. I even have to zoom out a little bit here, so I apologize. Get this going right. There we go. So the last real cup with handle buy point was way back, last year at 169, and since then it's just gone right up. Now the question is, can you buy it at this level? Tough place to buy it. This is very extended, good stock. Not a great place to buy it though. Just not a great place to buy it. Let me see if I can just find any alternative buy points on this. Yeah, it's the only place you really can buy it is the bounce off the 10-day line, and it looks we have some nice volumes coming in. So that's bullish. Wow. Here's the thing. I would be a little bit careful. It's above the 10-day line, so this is not a bad place to buy it. Here's the thing. If you're going to buy it, you want to only buy a quarter position because this could pull back, but it looks like it's in a channel and it possibly could go higher. So on this one, Harris, I think if you're not in this right now, I don't think it's necessarily the greatest time, because here's the thing. In order to buy it, I want to see a pullback to the 40-day line. As you can see, we've had one here, basically. We had one here, and we had one. We had them here, but the last time we had it was here. And well, sorry, the last two times we've had the pullback was here and here, and basically what it's done is pulled back to the 21-day line. Now, essentially, that's the case that we have here, but it's pulled a little bit above. You could buy it at this level. I'd be careful, though. I'd be a little bit careful buying it at this point because it still could reverse down. But yeah, I think this is buyable. Based on the chart that I'm seeing. It's touched the 21-day once, twice, three times, four times. So it is buyable at this point, and this is not necessarily a bad place to buy it. But I kind of wait to see on Monday if it pulls back. You may not be able to get into this one. It just looks kind of, I'd be a little bit careful because it's been so long since this last base, basically at 180, that it's going to be tough to buy this one. It's great stock. It's just there's not really a great entry point on it, unfortunately. All right, Harris, let's take a look at NIO. And this has had some. I issued a trade alert on NIO, and I was very afraid that it was not going to be able to hold the 40-day line. It looks like it might be reversing. Earnings are very tight. They are within 10 days. So we're coming up on earnings here. This might be a reversal, but it's just been kind of hanging out. This is a classic cup, and this is a classic handle. These can be very good, but here's the thing. I wouldn't buy it until it moves above the 21-day line. And basically, so here's the thing. If you're going to buy NIO, if you're not in NIO, if you're more than 10%, if you're more than 7% down in NIO, sell it. But if you're not, if you have a cushion, stay in it. If you want to get another position in NIO, you can do that. But it needs to be moving. It needs to move above 51.20. That's the buy point on it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put out. Put it out here. This is the strangest thing. I mean, in your regular life, you want to buy a bargain, but in stocks, you actually want to buy them as they're moving higher. So NIO is buyable above 57.720. Wait for it to move higher to buy. So basically, what you have to do with NIO here is we have to wait on it to we have to wait a little bit. We want to see if we can get a reversal here. kind of zoom in a little bit on this. Okay, there we go. We need to see if it's going to reverse higher here. It looks like it might be starting to reverse higher, but basically we want to buy it above, we want to buy it above the, we want to buy it above 57, the pivot 57.20. We want to buy it above there. So we want to wait until it's reversed and then it's moving higher into this blue area here. I don't know if you can see this online, but basically you want to, the buy zone for NIO is if it moves above 57.20, up 5% from that. So if it moves up about from 57.20 on up to about 60 is where your buy zone is going to be on that. It's down a little bit after hours. It's very close to getting into buy zone, but don't buy it now because it may continue to settle. Buy it as it moves above about 57.20 on up to about 60. That's going to be your best. That's going to be your best bet. It's a good stock, and it definitely has the potential of going higher. But wait on it. It's reversing, and hopefully it will reverse to a place that it's buyable. How often does the ant colony leave your? Oh, thank you. That's nice. That's always nice. Well, crypto is offering better returns than stocks right now, but until it doesn't. So be kind of careful on crypto. Crypto is great. I'm very interested in one crypto. Let me kind of show you the kind of how I typically play the crypto market, and that is and that is with GBTC. So let's look in on GBTC. It's had a good day today. Of course, I've been in it as well. So let's zoom on over to that. It's GBTC, and of course that stands for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it's moving up very nicely today. So let's put that up on the screen and zoom in a little bit. If we get there we go. And let's zoom in a little bit on that to see with the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. There we go. All right. There. Okay. Up very nicely today. It's 56, and it's just moving right up. It again, obviously we've retaken the trend line here. It spiked up, then it pulled back a little bit, but the trend line is basically right here. So it may pull back a little bit, but the trend is fairly good. We may get a reversal. So if it reverses, then we probably want to sell. So what I would do on here is I would start trying to push up my stop loss. I'd put my stop loss right about there. So let's see if we can get a good idea of where the stop needs to be set. About 28, let's see if I can get that exactly. There we go. All right. So, we want to kind of set it right basically at about the low of that day there. So we want to set our stop loss at about 51.50. So I'm going to put that down. 51.50 is the stop loss for GBTC. So looking very good. This is how I typically play crypto, and this is how I do it. So so set a stop loss for GBTC at 51.50, because this possibly could reverse a little bit lower, and then of course if we sell out, if it pulls back to this trend, this channel line, it kind of pulls back to this channel line, then we're going to sell it, and then we're going to buy it again at, because it does look like, based on this chart, that we're going to see this thing turn over here and pull down lower probably next week. So I'm going to be setting my stop loss at about 51.50, and I do have this in my portfolio. Oh, by the way, that is a good question. I want to show you kind of my portfolio as of today, because I always do that, and I didn't have all the slides ready today. Investors.com. And by the way, if you're interested in getting my ready list, in my ready list, I will have that out for people on the Action Trade Alert. So let me show you my my list here of what I currently have, and let's see. I'm not getting the. Well, goodness. Let's see if I can shift it over. All right. Okay. There we go. I'm going to get it shifted back to another screen. Here we go. Seem like the Wizard of Oz here with all these screens. Let's see if I can go to show you my show you my tab here. So, oh gosh, there we go. All right, so this is currently what I have. I'm in the GBTC, of course. I'm in 5.9, and that's up today. Off a little bit with Tesla. I do have a position in Tesla. And I do have a call spread with Cleveland Cliff. So I just kind of wanted to show that to you, to see, so you could see kind of where I was at. So, okay, well, we're almost at, we're actually over time today. It's about an hour. It's been a pleasure always. Hopefully, you will sign up and you'll come by and you'll take a look at, subscribe to our Action Trade Alerts. Super easy to do. It's www. Dallas Trading Floor, of course. But we would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. And of course, we always like it when you like it very much. So please smash that like button. Really appreciate it. It helps us with everything. And also, if you're looking on TikTok, super easy to get the Action Trade Alerts. All you have to do is go to the profile and hit the link, and you'll be taken directly to a page, and you'll be able to see how to get on the Action Trade Alerts. And so until tomorrow at 2:30, happy trading.